Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today we are finally back doing another mod showcase because today we are checking out the Endless Ocean Adventures mod for Minecraft 1.16 and yeah, let's jump right into it. So in today's video we'll be checking out this wonderful new mod which improves the Minecraft oceans based on a very fun Wii game. Before we get started, I do want to say that you will want to watch until the very end because at the end we're doing an interview with one of the developers of this mod. Alright, so starting off, this mod adds quite a few really cool decorative blocks, so let's take a look at some of these. This is the sand dune block. It's like sand, but it's really cool looking, and each of these have corresponding carpets. Right here is the white sand block, which you can find on white sand beaches. There's the white sand dune, also white sand beaches, the new biome. And here's mud and moss, which can be found in swamp biomes, and ocean rock, which I believe can be found underwater. There's light mossy, ocean rock, and light ocean rock. And then finally, there's the dead table coral block and the dead staghorn coral block. Alright, so those are all the blocks. Before we get into the animals, I'm going to just real quickly show you. This mod adds quite a few really cool tools. It adds the fish net, which can be used to catch fish in a much better way than like picking them up in buckets. There's the pulsar, which, if you take underwater, this can be used to heal and tame fish. There's fish food, which you can place in the water. It'll create a particle effect, which will attract fish towards it. There's the tang barb knife, which can be crafted with a tang barb. And there's the fish scaler, which can be used to scale fish. Alright, so now that we've gone over all of the different tools in the mod, we should take a look at the animals in the mod. But before we do that, I do want to show that I've created a nice decorated area using the blocks and the resources in the mod. These are the different types of corals. That is the staghorn coral, and this is the table coral, and they have corresponding blocks to go with them. But yeah, you can use this to make some very cool underwater environments that reflect the Monola you see from the game. Alright, so let's see some of these first release animals. So in this chest I have all the animals of the first release. We're gonna go through every single one. Here we go. Alright, so starting off we have the blue tang. Here's a blue tang. These are small fish. They're very nice looking. I do really like the way these look. I don't know if they're in the vanilla game, but let's spawn a couple in. Now I'm curious if we'll get powder blue tangs in the future. If so, that would be really cool. But yeah, they're kind of schooling, which is an interesting thing. But yeah, those are the blue tangs. Next, we have the dusky batfish. Let's put some of these down. These might be my favorite because they have a very unique dark color scheme. Let's spawn a few more in. Here we have the yellow tangs, which I feel like these might be like the most common colorful tropical fish that you can see in the wild. I've gone snorkeling a few times, and there are fish like these all over the place. Next, we have the sailfin tang, which these, I grabbed 20 because in the Endless Ocean game, these are incredibly common, but here's a nice big school of them paddling around, and they're really cool. Like, this is the kind of fish that I'd fill your tank with. Over here, we have the crescent tail big eye, which are very pretty fish. I'm curious because they look a lot like Antheas, but I'm probably completely off about that. Here we have the Stark's demoiselle, which is if you've played the original game, this is the very common fish whenever you like look very closely at coral. Let's spawn a few of these in. They're very small fish. They're light blue and white, and they're very pretty looking. But yeah, those are the Stark's demoiselle. Here's some really cool fish. The Moorish idol. You'll all recognize these. Let's spawn a few and have them swim around. Look at that. Yeah, they're some of the coolest looking fish. Next we have the Bowers parrotfish, which looks something like this. Very cool looking. And the clownfish. Alright, so now that we've spawned in our first bunch, you can see the fish. Although they all look the same, a lot of them have very different behaviors and like schooling patterns. So that's a very interesting thing. Let's try some fish food. You can see, yeah, now that I'm holding it, every single fish is following me, and if I place it down, they're all gonna like hoard over it. That's what the pulsar does. If you spray it on a fish, it will calm the fish and make it easier for you to catch it. You can catch a fish by just clicking on it with a net, just like this. Catch as many as you want, and I do believe, yep, they do stack. and then you can release them again. Alright, let's grab our last few animals. I found that these are some of the most like unique animals in the mod. Alright, so down here, let's spawn some of the coral gobies. These are very pretty fish. I don't actually recognize these. I haven't played the game in a long time, so I need to get back into that. Yeah, those are the coral gobies. Porcupine fish. We all know these. They're very similar to pufferfish, and they puff up just like pufferfish. They look very, very cool. Also, of course, there you go, they can poison you. Alright, so we're about to spawn the very large animal in the mob. Before we do, let me demonstrate the function of the fish scaler. If you click on a fish with it, it will kill the fish, but it will also give you the scales, which can be used as like decoration or as collectibles. There's probably more uses for them in the future. Yeah, you can click on fish and get their scales. Alright, so without further ado, let's head into these kelp beds right here. This seems like a pretty good environment for our next animal, the whale shark. Let's spawn one down here. They're very, very cool looking animals in this mod, and I do believe, no, you cannot catch them, so these are much harder to catch, which makes sense, because I don't think most people can catch whale sharks in real life with nets. But yeah, there are a few floating around just like this. Obviously, you can use some of the same things on them, like pulsars. And yeah, that's the whale shark. They're very cool looking and make me really want to see what the large animals in this mod's future are going to look like. This is Super Yaman. He's one of the devs on the Endless Ocean mod team. And today we're just going to be asking him a few questions about the mod, about the work he does. We're going to take a few looks into what's coming in the future.
Well, it's nice to be here. How would you like to start off?
I know you work on the mod, but I'm curious specifically what on the mod do you work on? Are you like a modeler or a texture or some other form of role?
On the mod, I am working mostly on getting the advertising out, the social media director, and mostly about editing and creating the trailers.
Alright. What kind of things can we expect from these trailers that you're producing?
Well, you can expect things from the normal Endless Ocean game if you've ever taken a look at that. You can see what kind of animals we'll be adding in each update to show different sections of the game and bring that game into Minecraft.
Since I've played the first game but not the second game, what was like your first interaction playing Endless Oceans?
Oh man, that was a while ago. I mean, around about 10 years ago, where I started playing it, I was still pretty young, but it's all about checking out all the beautiful kinds of marine life that you could really see out in the world, and they just brought it all into the game. And that's what really fascinated me and led to a future where I would be able to study marine.
What can we expect from like future updates for Endless Oceans?
Well, as we had our first release, which was the Atoll Gate release, we added creatures and coral and different features that were in the game that you would usually be able to see there, such as the horn coral and the table coral, along with a few of the fish that would live there, including the occasional whale shark being able to approach there. So if you look at the little hints that we have in our Discord, you can see what to expect in the next update. We're planning on adding a whole lot of things, because Endless Ocean has a lot of different creatures. Cetacans, normal fish, larger fish, things such as this.
I saw some of the features that are coming for the 1.1 update.
Oh yeah, we have a couple butterfly fish that are out, and emperor angelfish too. They're one of my favorites. The rest I cannot disclose at the moment. We'll be having more things momentarily.
Alright. Personally, what's your favorite like creature or feature of the mod?
Of the mod so far, I like the feature that you're able to create your own aquarium. You're able to catch these fish, and unlike other mods, you're able to have many different aspects on this game. There's creative mode, or maybe peaceful mode that you would have, so you could catch them. You could cure fish with a pulsar, and you could do things like that. Or you could go survival mode aspect, and you could try to use the items in the games that you might have available to you at the moment. Like we have the nerve knife, able to poison those that anyone gets hit by.
How did you first like come across the mod and decide to join the team?
Well, I started whenever I was in the Endless Ocean Discord, which is the regular game Discord, and I saw one of modelers and textures, Arca, he's a great modeler. I saw him model in textures first, and I said, this is really interesting. My favorite game, Minecraft, and my second favorite game, Endless Ocean, all coming together. Of course, I had to check in, and I started on the team by creating music or sounds and providing sounds and textures, and we went on from that.
What do you think makes the mod more unique than like other fish mods, aside from what you said, like the survival features and the creative features?
I think makes the mod very interesting is that we're adding these creatures to have aspects that they would in real world, kind of like real world, not even aquariums, but also in the wild. You're able to interact with these fish, not just catch them or cook them like you would in a normal game, but you're able to see them. You could feed them food. You could see how they interact with things like the bubble blower and how they react next to coral and how they might get scared, just as they would in a real life environment, which brings kind of realism to my game. I would also like to tell you about the people that are working on the mod right now, because they are the ones that are really making this possible. I am just trying to spread the word on this, and I'm only a really small fraction of what's going on here. Because, yeah, they do. We have Brian H. Code, he does all the coding for the mod. Mindblocks is coordinating it and making cetacans, whales, things like that. And then Arca is texturing along with Meg. And we have a couple new members coming on the team too that we will be talking about more in the future.
Well, thank you for chatting with me. You should know that your mod is very, very cool and it deserves way more downloads. So if anybody would like to play with the mod or just download it to give them some downloads, go ahead in the description below.
Thank you. 1,000 so far. Woohoo.
So everybody, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel for more content just like this. We'll be covering every single update to the mod. If you look in the description below, there's going to be a link to the mod community's Discord where you can see updates for the future and catch up with mod creators, and you can also join my Discord, link in the description. Anyways, like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.